believe we are live right now. We are live. Uh, what's up, man? Oh man, what you been up to, man? What you been up to?
Life,
Life?
real life.
It's coming in bad though. It's not coming in well. Let me see. Say something to the people.
Hey, how can you hear me okay?
It's like lagging. It's lagging pretty bad. Let me see if I can close some stuff down. That'll help. Let me see. Let me see. What about that? Now let's see what's going on. I think we should be okay.
All right, can you hear me now?
I can hear you now better. Yeah, there we go.
All right, cool.
Eh, a little still scratchy.
So,
Nah, it still sounds like a robot, they said. You there? Oh man.
yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now, but it was sounding like a robot a minute ago.
That's so weird because when we tested, it was just working.
Yeah, it was working. I don't know what's going on. But back to episode 11 of the Stronghold. Man, this is a long time overdue. Um, I think what happened is I think we both got some inspiration by the barracks. Shout out to TC Cap for doing that. And we were talking. It's like, man, we got a lot to say. Seems like last time we said a lot has been implemented, and season three seems to keep peeking its little head over the corner. And some people are impressed, some people are not. I am kind of on the fence. And then we've got this costume chamber revamp. We've got ATL coming up. We've got new events that added heroes, and I think that's where we left off, my friend. I think that's where we left off.
Sounds about right.
Yeah, sounds about right. Um, let's get into it, man. So what's the latest and greatest going on with that, Dad? How are you and the chef's kitchen doing over there?
Oh, we're good. We're fighting 7 days condemned in wars right now.
Mm-hmm.
So, just streaking 14 stars, just having some fun.
Streaking 14 stars and having some fun. Yeah, it's still lagging. I don't know what's going on with that. I've got everything off here. Hmm, that's weird. Let's see. Discord. Everything's green on Discord, so it looks good there. I'm trying to get this voice thing straight, and it's nothing we didn't do anything different. Um, what was I gonna say? That's a topic I kind of want to hit on. Streaking 14 stars. So, what does that look like for you? What is streaking 14 stars looking for you? I think it's something that I personally didn't realize people had or didn't have the skill to maintain. I didn't realize how costly it was. I didn't realize how taxing it is. But I think I went through my humps and bumps over there at 70A and a little bit at the alliance I was before, and then got to 14s and just kind of been stuck on autopilot. But it's a little more it's more difficult than what people understand. How do you feel about that?
I mean, one or two isn't hard, but if you get a bunch of green titans in a row,
Oh, now you
you
got
start
jokes.
dragging behind.
Now you got jokes. Green Titan. So that's where you're going. That's where we're putting the thumb in the eye right off the rip.
Yeah.
Yeah. So for those who don't know, Killer Nation recently ran into eight, basically I'd say back to back Green Titans. So what happened is we started off with the green Crystal Giant, killed it, went to yellow. Then another green Crystal Giant, killed it, then a purple. Another green Crystal Giant, killed it, then a rare blue. Killed the rare blue, another green giant. Killed that. After that, we had a another yellow. Killed that green crystal giant. After that, green rare. After that, a yellow Titan, and another green giant after that. So like we had, and maybe I said too many, but it was eight back to back to back to back green crystal giant 14 stars. The problem I have with that is that I've never seen the RNG ever do anybody like that in the game. Crystal Giant has the most HP, therefore it does take a little bit longer for it to be killed, and the fact that weak is the weakest color in the game for tile damage, and that's where I'm at with that. You still
Yep,
there?
pretty much.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah,
much.
yeah. Can you hear me okay? Is it coming through just fine? I don't know.
I can hear you now, okay, but then like every now and then it like lags out and then it comes back. It's really weird. It's never done this to us before. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why Discord isn't connecting to my Bluetooth right now either.
yeah,
It's weird.
yeah,
Everything else is connected to my Bluetooth except for Discord.
yeah. It sounds great like that. That sounds good, like it is right now.
All right, I'll keep you close to my mouth then.
Mmm.
Mm.
Where else would you have the? Where else would you have me? In case I need life back. You know.
This is the stronghold.
Yes, it is the stronghold. We hold each other
See.
down very strongly.
So yeah, green Titans. If you get a bunch of green Titans in a row, I mean it's a balance of, because you can't, at least for me, I can't go ham on every Titan, so I got to try and balance out my hits. And if I get a good board, I want to make sure I have the right items to take advantage of that good board, so I
hmm
can get that good score. So if I do get a 5 or 10,000 hit, because it will happen, if you get a dry board, no matches, the Titan will just clear your team out.
Yeah, eat you alive.
No, yeah, no stuns, no matches. Like, yeah, I mean, it happens. It happens to the best of us. Sometimes even tornadoes don't get you out of a bad board.
No,
So,
I've come to the conclusion
um,
tornadoes only guarantee 40% mana. That's all they guarantee.
yeah, yeah, it's a gambling item for sure.
Yep.
Um, but it can work to your advantage very nicely. But nonetheless, 14 star Titans just eats away. So you have to manage that, especially with all the buildings that are going on and stuff like that. And Alchemy Lab is not cheap, and um, Stronghold 24, whenever they release that into beta, is not going to be cheap. So um, it's hard, like when we finished up our base on season one, we had all the time in the world to enjoy our forges and all the items that we were able to craft in there, because the forge is like one of the last things that you do. So um, for me, the Hunter's Lodge is one of the last things I do as well,
Yeah.
because I just couldn't imagine spending all of that, all those resources, ham and iron, right now on that stuff.
Right.
Um, but yeah, 14 stars, no joke. We're up in our average over 30 days to 140K average on Titans.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean that's not easy, especially if you're missing a few of the elemental downs. It's really hard to make that quota.
Yeah. Speaking to the items though, if you are streaking 14 stars, what items are you recommending people? Like, what is the general item base that you're bringing or you're making coming to the 14 star Titans? Like, what are you usually
Yeah,
looking for?
well, since I don't compete in rare events, my arrows go into Titans.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the spears, the blind crap,
Okay.
whatever they are. You know what I'm talking about. The ones that
Yeah.
blind.
That's arrows. Arrow attack.
Yeah, arrow attack, turtle banners, um, bear banners, dragon banners, switching it up between those. I stopped using minor pots and regular mana pots and super pots. So I'm not doing any
Juicing.
buffing. Yeah, I'm not juicing up at all.
Mm-hmm.
Except, I mean, I have enough to craft like another 300 or 400 tornadoes. I got like 15 in my inventory right now. Um, I always take tornadoes with me
Okay.
nowadays. Antidotes, depending on the Titan, of course.
Right.
Um, if the Titan does defense down, then my turtle banners will will shield that, so I don't need to take antidotes for that fight.
Right.
Um, Time stops I'm not crafting right now
Okay.
because I want the dragon bones to be able to craft dragon attacks more than time stops for events.
Right. Right.
So I'm not using any time stops.
Okay.
Yeah, really, it's turtle banners. The majority is turtle banners, antidotes, maybe some healing pots because I don't use them hardly at all in any other mode of the game I can think of.
Right.
So health pots just to get a few extra combos in potentially.
Okay.
Um, yeah, it's just right now in the game I'm not going ham on Titans like I could if I wanted to.
Right. Right. I try to. I don't know. I think a lot of people when it comes to those 14 star titans, they're not recognize what the balance is. Um, in a higher end alliance, going into that top 50, top 100, the people who aren't, they're streaking, and like you talking about people, 14 star titans have been out probably about a little bit over 100 days now, maybe more, like probably about 150 days, maybe something like that. Um,
Yeah.
you talk about people who hasn't missed 150 days of 14 star titans. So there is a balance, but the balance also depends on your weakest player as well as your strongest player. Speaking on that 140k to 130k, um, that number is to get that B loot and that A loot more closer to the C loot, if I'm not correct, right? Which you're trying.
Well, B loot you need to be up in like the 180 range, I think, on
Right,
14 stars.
right. 180 is B
Um,
loot on 14 for sure. Yeah,
yeah, it's like 185 or something like that.
right,
So, um, that puts you in the C loot, but we have our Titan hitters. I mean, we have a strong alliance, so at some point or another, one of us is going to get a good RNG, and someone who might have scored an A plus on one Titan, like this happened to me. I scored an A plus on a purple spider, and then the very next Titan, I couldn't get any RNG going. I was like, in the bottom five.
right,
Um, so we build off of each other. But when you're in an alliance where everyone's pretty strong, everyone's pretty skilled, even if we don't have necessarily the same rosters, we can still get to that point. It's about killing the Titan faster, just making sure that um, there isn't too much of it lessens the spread between people who are doing everything and people who are doing less. And I'm one of those people doing less because I don't craft enough items to kill Titans.
right. Another thing too that I'll hit on that is it's also about hitting, like kind of keeping your timing right for when you are hitting Titans. So like for instance, at the beginning, you know you have two flags at this Titan. Cool. Well, you know after those two flags are gone, you know in another hour or two you need to hit your third hit so that you can make your 5 to 6 hits per Titan. Would you definitely agree with that, right?
Oh yeah, I mean, it, you always got to be ready for the next Titan, no matter what time it is. I mean,
Right.
there's so many players like me in this alliance to where we don't have too much time to where we can't play throughout the week.
Right.
So I mean, a super high competitive alliance is just that. For me, if I want to use less items, I need to set an alarm for those, early morning Titans to at least get my one hit and get the clock reset.
Right. Right.
Um, so that's what I need to do to compensate. Is not wait until it's at the 16-15 hour mark to hit because I was sleeping.
Yeah, and I think honestly, like speaking on alliances and then 14 star Titans, the last thing I'll say about it is honestly the 14 star Titans are the separation from I'd say the top 50 to the bottom 50. Like the people who can handle it every day out, they go top 50. The people who can't, they stay more towards the lower of that. And that's similar to what has happened recently in my experience. Did not know that. I'm learning a little bit as a as an alliance leader as I go, and it's an interesting curve. Shout out to Killer Nation in Killer City, doing a great job, great things over there. It looks like we got a pretty decent win today on the war. But that's all I got about the 14 star Titans. Let's talk about something fun, man. Let's get into these hero of the months first. Then we're gonna get into like I think maybe season 3. But even before that, you know what? Before that, let's get into costumes, man. Let's talk about what you and I have, what you were so super psyched about, so amped about with the costumes. What do you think about that one?
Yeah, I mean, I'm so happy to see that you got every skin except for Viv's,
Oh
pretty
yeah,
much.
thanks, man. I appreciate you.
You got Quintus, which has no interest to you at all at the moment,
No, I don't care about
but
Quintus.
but you do have a Cutchin down the line. Cutchin and Quintus together is Quintus hits like a truck.
Yeah, but I think he hits like a truck before his skin.
Yeah, he hit like a truck before his skin.
So now he just got mats to increase his truck hit without a skin because I
Yeah,
think his skin is kind of silly to add on to him, in my opinion, right now.
yeah, I like it. Crazy space doctor.
I mean, it looks cool. I'm just saying it's just not.
It's unique.
Yeah, it's unique. Yeah, I'd agree with that.
It's unique.
It's unique.
Um, but yeah, I mean, costumes, great, great hit in the game. The whales who have been here from the beginning already have, that played season one. They have all these heroes leveled up already.
Right.
Um, the whales have already gathered their season two heroes. So now they have the costumes to make those 4,700, 4,800 power teams eventually, if they
Right.
want to.
Right.
But I have seen the
Absolutely.
4,700 teams arise.
Yeah, it's
So,
sick. It's sick. Those guys with 19, 19, 20, 20, and 30 level troops, they're tripping. I'm not honestly not that far off from getting my first 19. I'm close. I'm really really close. I think after this ATL I should have it, but we'll
well,
see.
Ambassador has his Finley up to 20, and his
Yeah,
Gravy up to 19. I think it's crazy.
yeah, it's
But
pretty
I mean, the costumes are good, and I did pull more on this chamber than I said I was
anticipated.
going to
Right.
because of what you said we could happen with the rotation of heroes in the chamber. It made
Yeah,
me want to what you said just in case as insurance made me want to do some extra pulls. I was going to wait until it's all released, but I want to do some extra pulls in the meantime.
okay,
um
so
so so what do you think is they could do with the release of these heroes in the chamber?
okay, so for some reason me and that dad talked for hours on hours about this game called Empires of Puzzles. This addicted to our phone, which has our, well, maybe my relationships in arms, but anyway. Um so I was talking to him and I was like, yo, I know we got Atlantis Rising. I said, but what if they do the costume chambers like season 2? And so what I mean was when they released season 2, they released it in sections. Like we got the Laguna family for about a good two, no, excuse me, for about a good 4 to 5 months, right? Then the Laguna family adapted into the Sakura family, and then the Sakura family adapted into the Atlantis family. But none of the heroes, the what would happen is they interchanged certain heroes out while they were releasing each one. My thought process was, okay, I have 3 season 1 heroes. 2 of them are on this banner. If they add more to it, that's a less likely chance I get these season 1 heroes. June being one, um, Lee, I can't even get her name out. Vivica being the other one. So I was like, well, it's no point in me pulling when the whole pool is available because then it lessens my chance for getting who I really want, which is Vivica and June. I will see what Magni looks like. More than likely, I'll probably go after Magni, but I'm definitely still trying to go after Vivica. So I decided to make a switch up from Atlantis and go after Vivica because Vivica is more relevant to me than Poseidon. She's already done. It wouldn't take much to get her to max on her skin, and then I have a unique hero that totally changes yellow altogether. That was my thought process. So me saying that to that dad, he's like, green light, yeah, if I want certain heroes, I probably should pull on their certain banners versus when all of them are available. Because when they release all, what is it, 20? We counted 20, 24 5 stars for season one.
20.
It's
20.
20? If you release
Yeah.
all 20 5 star for season one, yes, you have a larger chance to get a 5 star, but you have a less likely chance to get what you want. So I think it's probably better to pull banner by banner if you're targeting a specific hero. Um, in this case, I'm targeting Vivica, so I will probably go one more time to get Vivica. and then after that, it's waiting on Magni. So I just thought that was that's kind of changed up my philosophy with the skins, and I believe it changed that dad's philosophy as well.
Yeah, and like I said, for me, it's insurance. Yeah, you know what? Like if they're not gonna add two more heroes and keep the existing heroes in the chamber and just swap it out all together, like they did with Atlantis, then at least then yeah, that's what I would want to do.
I think one thing that's really noteworthy that I kind of see them doing. So we counted. There's 8 5 stars, right, on this one. It was 8 or 10. It was 8 5 stars, right?
Five stars.
It was 8. So we're trying to figure out how they're going to justify the other set of eights, or what how they're going to break them down, because if it's only 25 stars, what's the breakdown there? Um, I thought to myself, I was like, that's interesting. Don't know what they're going to do. Are they going to add skins to season one, Hero of the Months? That's far fetched. We don't have any clue or any knowledge about that whatsoever. Um, and so that was interesting to me. But here's what I thought about. If you notice, Horkal, Quintus, Asarnia, Vivica, I feel like and Elena, right? That's
Yeah,
almost all the slow heroes on this banner. We're only missing like maybe 2 or 3 more slow heroes. Aslar and
justice.
Justice and who else? I can't really think of another slow hero on the season one. I think that's it. I think honestly them pushing the fast and average heroes out is actually going to make the other two, possibly 4 costume chambers way more desirable than this one. Or they're going to drop it to where they just include them in it. And the reason I say that is because increasing your sniper damage, or increasing what your snipers do, or changing up your snipers do, is to me way more relevant than what they did with the slow heroes. Adding a defensive down to Quintus, great. Adding a higher hit to Asarnia, I'm not sold. Adding a 50% decreased damage to Horkal, I'm sold. Um, adding
54%.
defensive, say what?
54%.
Oh yeah, 54%. Excuse me. I'm sold. Adding defensive down to Vivica, I'm sold. But what can you possibly do to the rest of the heroes besides buff stats, or add dots, or different tech? Um,
Well, there's one hero that comes to mind out of all of them more so than anyone,
Go ahead.
and that's because this color is so weak on offense. And that's Marjana. I
Hmm.
would love to see if you go with her skin that her skin is retooled for a higher attack and lower defense.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You know,
I think
increase
Sartana. I think Sartana is the
increase
same way too.
yeah, increase that damage, increase that poison damage, give us a bigger hit. Um, and at that point, I wouldn't mind having 2 or 3 Marjana skins and just a little Marjana army along with my Sartana army.
Yeah, absolutely. It'll be interesting to see if those two are on the same banner. Um, and curious to see what they do with Leo. Do they reverse him to where he has a harder mana reduction and less of a health reduction, or more of a health reduction, or more of a heal and less of a mana reduction? Curious to see what they do with all of them. I think it's going to be very, very interesting what they do with skins. I was fortunate enough to pull quite a few of the 5 stars. Oh, so you guys know, and it probably was already available. You can't level skin past the tier of the card that it originally is. So in other words, you get the skin of Hawkmoon. If Hawkmoon's still at tier 1, she doesn't go past tier 1 on the card. Also, don't forget that when you level a costume, costumes can only level costumes. They don't level hero card, the original card. So just some stuff that probably people already knew. And so we go over what they changed. When you do pull on costumes, you get the costume and you get the hero. The keys got reduced by 5. They added the Ascension Mat chest, and they added the Hero of the Month on the pool. So it made for great. I think that was a great improvement. It's almost like you're double dipping, because you're getting the pool, you're getting the card, and you're getting the hero and the costume, for basically the same price if you were doing a regular pool. And I just think that was a great retool,
Yeah.
for leveling, and then also another great tool for just increased value of these costumes, in my opinion. I think the chamber to me now is almost worth more than events because I've got a lot of things for events. Like I can see it totally revamps a section of heroes that were almost lost prior to this coming.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely a good revamp. It's nice because, like, for me, in my case, I was farming TC20 to try and get that June pop because I still haven't had a June pop.
Right,
And so but then they fix it essentially. We get the hero, we get the skin. Now I'm not farming TC20 for any 5 stars ever again.
right,
And actually, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying not even having a food storage because like I have so many of my 5 stars are already at level 70 and ready to go in my line to where I don't really need the food storage. It only takes a day and a half for me to take them from 70 to 80 without any food storage. I just did it with Elena,
right,
so food storage right now for me is no big deal. I'm spending my food everywhere else. And I get the heroes. So why am I going to farm for heroes out of TC20 right now when I don't have to gather the hero before the skin? If I'm going to get a June skin, I got the June to go with them. And I'm
right,
keeping the darts just in case.
right. So we've talked about the skins, we talked about the revamp there. Let's talk about these up and coming final April hero of the months. Let's go from, I guess, should we start with Vela, or you think Vela's talked out and then we should just keep going, or
Well, we can hit on Vela real quick because I mean I
let
still
me.
see lots of comments floating through your Discord asking about her.
Yeah, and we
Um,
actually, actually Vela is a really strong talking point because we have some breaking news. That's right, breaking news. Breaking news.
breaking
Should we break the news? I mean, should we break the news?
of how my mind was blown in the alliance this week. What are we
Not just
talking about?
not just how your mind was blown, but should we break the news that we really we really have been sleeping on a meta that was really was untold untold meta that we didn't know about. So I'm gonna let Dad let you guys know what's going on with Vela and what's going on with all DOT characters that apparently we had no clue about. Like I don't know why this didn't like hit us in the face before, why we weren't checking things, but Dad, take it away, man. Take it away.
All right, so this isn't just us. I'm in a high competitive alliance. Agreed.
100%. 100%.
Most of us in the alliance didn't even know about this. Our minds are all being blown. We have a grave maker. We have a couple grave makers on the team, right? And
Right.
most of them went the defense and HP line. Well, one of the gravies decided to go the attack line because this player knew that if you raise your attack stat, it raises your DOT damage. So, in other words, with my Natalia, if I go in, I'm just going to put it as flat 750. If I go in with 750 burn damage, which is a couple points higher than that, but oh well. If I go in with 750 burn damage and I add attack troop that adds 25%, that base burn damage now becomes 1,000.
Yeah. I'm actually putting the
So
I'm actually putting the burn damage difference between my grave maker and then someone in my alliances, which it's just so you know what's going on. I'm listening. I'm right here with you, but just to
yeah,
show.
and then I was like, oh my gosh, like we're all freaking out. And I go and look at my account. Sure enough, level 70 Sartana, special skill maxed, has a much lower DOT than my level 80 max Sartana with full attack stat. I look at my Rumple with I don't know, 16 or 17 emblems on him, 17 I think, and his poison damage is different than my level 70 Rumple, whose special skills max. So this whole time, so many players, including myself, were just completely ignorant and naive on the meta of DOT. And so many players are laughing at us right now because they're like, dude, dad, like you've been playing this for 3 years and you're just now realizing this. Yeah, guys, yeah, I absolutely am. It never became apparent until we were looking at those gravies and figuring out why there was such a difference.
So guys,
And
oh, go ahead. Go ahead. Sorry.
so, and it reminds me because I had reset Natalia on emblems for Rumple, and I swore I remember one time going into a fight with over 1,000 base damage,
Yes.
and I was just confused for a moment. So, and that was like 6 months ago when I started using Natalia again.
So do you want me to go
So,
ahead and break down the math for him?
yeah. So essentially, if you raise your attack stat by 10%, you're gonna raise your burn damage by 10%, or your DOT by 10%.
So I think it's even less than that. I think it's at 5. It starts at 5%. So if your attack goes up at 5, because the maximum was 10% we could do with the emblems. So the Gravemaker that's to the far, I guess it's my far right. I guess you guys is far left. So the one, I don't know if you guys can see my mouse or not, but the one that has the 320 burn damage, that's my Gravemaker set to 18 emblems defensive line, 312 burn damage for 2 turns. The one in the middle that I've got bigger than that one, it says 324 burn damage for 2 turns. That one is sitting at a 5% increase of attack based off the talent tree. So the talent tree increased the burn damage of Gravemaker at 5% for that amount. Okay, the highest you can go on the talent tree, we put the math together, was 10%. So what happens is Gravemaker goes from 324, he
No,
jumps up.
it was more than 10%. I didn't get the actual figure on that,
I thought the highest was
and
three.
it's gonna vary based on what class they are,
But
because like
right,
I think
right,
fighters and barbs get like 7 attack nodes, I think, plus the up 4% or 2%.
right, right,
I think it's 4% that they get. So that's going to fluctuate based on their class. But
right,
yeah, if on emblems you raise their by 10% because you're embleming them, now you're going to have a 10% gain on your burn damage.
right. So like the Gravemaker, what we did on the gravy, just gravy. Let's just go with gravy. Gravy, it was
Yeah,
10% max, I believe. It went up to 342. So 342 was you take the 30, subtract, you take 342 and subtract the 312, you get 30 points. Divide 30 points into 312, it was roughly 10%. So 10%
yeah,
makes it to 342. That's what we got last night.
yeah.
Then,
Now,
then,
now three.
go
Then
ahead.
you had the mana troop.
Then you add the attack troop to it, which has a maximum of 25 attack, right? 25% attack?
Yeah. So I got it right here. It puts
Yeah.
the burn damage up to 427.
427 max.
Yeah.
Max emblems and max troop, right?
I would have to break down the math on a max emblem gravy, but as of right now, off of the 342 base damage that you get from some emblems,
Right.
with a 25% attack troop, you get 427 and a half burn damage.
Right.
So
So yeah, and the reason this is, I guess, relevant, guys, and the reason like it even became apparent is because it kind of totally reshapes your DOTs. Like maybe you do go attack line for Gravy, even though you want him to go off as much as possible. And I've been saying that for a long time. The DOTs, I want him to go off as much as possible. Um, and so I think what we've concluded, and I think what I said was anything 3 burn damages and over, I would go the shield line. Anything 3 or less, so like for instance, your Jabberwock, your Sartanas, your Marjanas, I don't know who else has a dot off the snipe, but any of those for your DOT damage, or maybe Morgan Le Fay because you had tax 1, I would go sword, so that dot ticks harder, and then for like a Morgan Le Fay because she heals off the dot. Same with a Victor. Um, I would increase. I might to just kind of mess with people if it align right. Increase that healing off of it. Like Morgan Le Fay, I think it makes sense. Victor not so much because it's so much less of a heal, but Morgan is such a bigger heal. It just kind of makes her almost really invulnerable after that dots on them. But Vela now becomes kind of a different story. Due to the fact she's a druid, it kind of changes up her build. Um, And the reason I say this is because, and this is just again a big opinion, because we've been telling people, oh, defense Vela, offense Vela, defense Vela, offense Vela. It's kind of going back and forth. I think Vela is not a sword or a shield person. She's a health person. And where you do is you catch a balance of the sword to increase that damage and a balance of the defense to catch that, because she's already got pretty balanced stats. And the reason I say this is because you can benefit from that percentage of the dot that's increased. I don't have a number yet for you, but where the health increases her is her roots that she will get from getting ghost tiled or hit. And when those increase, it makes Vela live a little bit longer. She's already fast. With that, with those roots increased in health, Boss Wolf for that dad I think is up to 279 or 249 or something crazy like that on the roots. If
269 or 273, something like that.
something like that. So when you increase Vela's health that much, now her roots are that, and then she has that same optimum chance of keep putting that water damage on people on again, on again, on again, on again, and she's living longer. So that is probably one of the bigger reasons why we came to address this, and why it's Vela is kind of like, because they introduced another dot person right before they introduced John F. It's like, hey, this might be important. Why might this be important? Because now we know to tool Vela more of the health line, which is similar to what you might do to a Boss Wolf, Albi, so that Root can actually take more damage. The defense is not necessarily what's important for them. Maybe a Boss Wolf because he adds defense, but like Albi Vela, when those Roots hit, it absorbs a hit for you, so your guys are living longer in raids and on war defense and stuff like that. Um, so that was kind of unique. Um,
So, what? Real quick
yeah,
before we move on some more. Um, Now that we know that, it made me switch up my Alliance War teams because I always had Grazul and Natalia together.
right,
Well, now Natalia gets my level 24, 25 mana troop,
right,
and like I said, I go in with over 1,000 base burn damage. I'm doing like 1,100 or so to greens now.
right.
So yeah, after Rumple, especially with the green meta that's going to be real in the next year, um, I'm really considering retacking Natalia again, but just going pure attack line and just having the most insane burn in the game that's undispellable.
Right,
So she's
right.
already an Albion Mother North killer, but if I were to go pure attack line, she could literally just kill them in the 4 turns, 6 turns, however long it is.
Yeah, yeah. You've got a bunch of you got a bunch. It's so much different tech now with that, and then also, guys, it's also dependent upon the class. So like, it's another thing. Like I think that's the thing that kind of made Vela kind of like, well, she now is not like Gravemaker at all. Same with John Francois who's coming out. Thoughts on Vela? Do you think Vela is changing meta? Pretty basic, regular hero. A lot of people say she could possibly get that A plus grade from Anchor, or we could get a higher rank on her. What do you got her at? I think she's pretty solid personally. I got her at a reliable hero. That's where I'm at. And what I mean by reliable is someone I would level up if I didn't have 50,000 more blues ahead of her. But where are you at?
Um, I mean, it depends on what you have in your account. If you pulled her, you might sit on her. If you don't have a lot of blues, she's going to be really good. If you don't have a sturdy fast blue for that wing spot on wars, um, that's what you need. She's going to be solid there. She's you're going to favor her more on offense than defense.
Right.
But I mean, she's great against Titans. Yeah, I mean she's solid, just like you said. She's got balanced stats. If you go the health line, which I've seen someone in 7D condemn do in this war, they're winging Vela. And you go the health line, yeah, she's solid. She gets her defense over 800, her attack over 800, I think it was, and like 1,500 or so HP with the defense troop.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, she was definitely solid. Nothing like incredibly wow.
Right.
But again, I've said this before on either your show or on TC Cap show. Um, she shines better when you got a Jean F to go with her.
Oh, on defense or offense?
Both.
Okay. So since we've talked about Vela, I think we've talked about her to death. Um, Next hero of the month is John F. After that is Telluria, and after that is Dwayne Rockbottom Maui Mogi. I can't pronounce his name. Um,
It's Dwayne Johnson
yeah, it's just Dwayne
from
Johnson.
Moana.
It,
It's
it's
Dwayne Johnson from
it's
Moana.
yeah, Dwayne Johnson from Moana. Next is John F.
You,
John F is a wizard coming in with all burn damage. They reduced it to 2 turns for 301 or 304, something like that. Um, he protects against defense and recycles it to make his team defense, and then he adds a blue shield to all red heroes, and then he has the crit chain. Is that correct?
yeah,
Yeah.
essentially.
Okay. Um.
Yeah, 5 techs in that one, I think it was.
Yeah, it's something crazy. He is similar. He's really high up with a lot of texts. Vela has a lot of texts like that too, but I think his are more unique because we've never had the recycle or defend against defense. Where are you at with that?
Yeah. Sorry, I'm back.
All right. Where are you at with the defend against defense? How do you feel like that's going to change the game as far as like the recycle of defense down?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
No, I can hear you. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. Yeah, Jean F.
You went away.
Jean F is really good.
All right. John F is really good. What do you think about the recycled defense? That was a question. Sorry.
Yeah, he's the anti-Finley.
Anti Finley. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I would say that he's the anti Finley.
You, you know, with the if he's up, he's got the shield up. You're kind of like, go ahead and hit me, Finley. I kind of want you to, so I can get a defensive up. You're not going to do a lot of damage against my Reds. Um, it depends. Of course, if it's later in the fight, no matter what, you don't want Finley to go off.
Yes, that's true.
So if it's early in the fight, then you're going to be good.
Yeah. Um. Next one is Telluria, and I'm not quite sure on her. I didn't realize she had a minion. She has some interesting tech. So maybe you can go over Telluria for me because I'm not quite sure on her. I'm not quite.
Yeah, she's got a lot of tech, and I don't have the screenshot of my thing anymore. I emptied out
Let me look then.
my stuff.
Let me see if I can find her under my dark files. Um, she's doing crazy stuff. She's doing. Here we go. Telluria. All right, so she is Force of the Force, deals 190 damage to all enemies, summons a Force family familiar minion for all allies for 20% health and a 13% attack. Inherited from the caster, all allies regenerate 548 health over 4 turns. All enemies get a 34% mana regeneration for 4 turns. And then she adds the crit, of course, for the 6 for the green chain. And she is a paladin green hero. And she has something resist to minion, but I don't know if that's true because we just got resist to minion. So,
Yeah, like I said, I forget. I had to clean out 2,000 images out of my screenshots, and I forgot to save the season 3 builds from the last beta. I have the new ones, and the hero of the months too. Um, but Telluria, I mean, it's got a lot of people questioning if in and possibly wanting to see a change to the meta. Some players that I know, high up players, I'm actually kind of surprised of how much they want to run a Telluria tank for wars and high end wars.
okay.
She is going to be absolutely insane. I don't know who's going to be better, whether it's going to be her or Heimdall.
Okay.
Time will tell. People see, I have a different perspective. Like I said, for Mother North, she can be a good tank because she is a healer. She adds minions. And
Right.
if you do kill the wings and not Mother North, especially in wars, because you're going off colors, you might kill the flanks, but you might not kill that Mother North yet.
Right.
Same thing with Heimdall, and Heimdall heals and adds more HP. So I can see Heimdall being better. But I mean, you know, green has so many good tanks now. You can justify a horde call with the skin if you go HP line, and if you have a defensive troop, you're going to be pushing 2,000 to 2,200 HP on him.
Right.
Um, with a 54% attack down, he can take the hits to get that attack down and set up your snipers. Telluria can take the hits. She does a lot more tech. She'd be better than Horcall. I think Telluria would probably be better than Mother North, but what makes Heimdall so good is that he heals and increases all that HP.
Yeah.
Um, so
Curious to see
that's
how
just
that's going to
debatable.
work.
But those are the yeah. I mean, and Yunit, and we also have Yunit. So people are probably laughing at me that I'm saying that Groot can be a tank, but Groot with the skin, if you tool him
AKA
right
Horcall.
at 2,000, at 2,000 to 2,200 HP, you really don't care about the burn damage from red.
Right. Speaking since we were on Telluria and going into that, we had a meta changer from each section of these Heroes of the Month. And this is closing out the end of the Chain Hero of the Month. Not to say that Chain is going away, but this is the fifth line of them. So it goes Grimble, it goes Vela, then we're going to get John F., we're getting Telluria, and we're getting Dwayne Johnson. Out
Yeah,
of this group, would you say that Telluria is the meta for this one?
she's the only one that is a potential meta changer.
Okay,
Uh,
right.
you know,
She's the
and
most
the
unique, I
reason,
would say. Yeah.
but like we were discussing this yesterday, I think that Kutchin, yes, he's definitely good. He was a meta changer,
Yeah.
but Ursina came out, added another purple tank. People start discovering that you tank Ursina, you're gonna have a high win percentage.
Yep.
Um, so that's what pushed Kutchin and Ursina to be a meta changer. It wasn't just because one of them. Now Ursina's probably better overall. It's still up for debate,
Right.
but nonetheless, they feed each other to where in wars it shifted the meta to purples because okay, you have a Kutchin or you have an Ursina or you have a Hell or a Boss Wolf or you
Hmm.
start nitpicking it. But Telluria already has Skin Horcall, already has Mother North, and we're getting Heimdall.
Right.
Um, and we already have Yunit. So
And we already have Groot, and we already have
there's a
Horcall. Yeah, you
lot
said
of
that.
that gives alliances 5 options for viable tanks
Yeah.
in the same color,
Yeah.
and which gives a lot of alliances a lot more chances to have a cohesive war team.
Yeah. Yeah, you'll see
And
the pulls in that change. I think it made Tonics a little more valuable. I think Tonics was personally the most valuable in the game. I've said it before, and I probably didn't say it live, but green is the most unique, if not the best element in the game because they have a little bit of everything. The only thing 5-star green doesn't have yet, and I say yet, is defensive down. Everything else they have. They started with resurrection. They have the heal. They started minions. They've got minions that attack.
they,
They've got minions that
they've
take
got
away
dodge.
mana. They've got dodge. They've got mana up. They've got health regeneration. They've got hit. They've got more archers than there are in uh, I don't know than there are in Robin Hood. It, they've got
Yeah,
they've got a little bit of everything. And also they've got five-star shield down, which is unique to three of the colors, and their 5-star shield down is fast. Um, I think the green. Somebody just said that Vela goes really well with the green tank, and that does make a lot of sense. Vela does set up for is a great assist for a green tank. Where would you
yeah.
play?
You run a
Yeah,
yeah, you run a green tank with two blue flanks and then two red wings, and no
yeah,
pun intended. You're good to go.
yeah, yeah. Where would you place her? You think she's a solid wing? You don't think she's a flank?
Um, I mean, if you're running a green tank, then she's a flank
Okay, okay,
because she's going to have more defense against the reds that they're going to try and throw at Telluria.
right.
Um, that's why like uh, if I run in raids, if I run a green, a blue, or a red tank, I do better not having any yellows or purples on my team at all.
Okay,
I do better. My scores do better if I have a blue tank. Then I'm gonna run 2 reds on the flank and the greens in the rear.
Okay.
And it's like that defensive line, right?
Right.
Okay, well, if they get the board, they're going to stack against the flanks and the tank, 3-2.
Right.
So your second wave on your defense has better defense against their primary color, and then your third wave has more defense against their secondary color.
Yeah. Yep. That makes a lot of sense.
So that's why that color stacking in raids works out very well. Um, so, but yeah, Telluria with a Vela flank, because I ran Vela, and in testing I ran Vela and John F both flanking. It ran well with Telluria.
All right. So let's talk about him. The final piece to this fifth chain link hero. His name is Malo. It's Malosi. So I'm gonna go with
Dwayne
Malos,
Johnson.
Malosi,
Okay.
or
I'm not gonna
Malasi,
try this one. You can butcher it. I'm
Malasi,
not. Nope. Nope.
Malasi,
I don't know.
Ma Ma Malosi, Malosi. I'm going with
Pelosi.
Malosi. Yeah, M A L O Lo SIC, Malosi. Let's go with that.
All right,
Go
Pelosi.
Malo.
The Dwayne Johnson got hired by SG to play Pelosi.
Let's go Malosi. Yeah, go
So
Malosi.
anyone who's seen his card is gonna bag on his hit. Although I do say his hits should still be at 400%. He's a fast, somewhat of a sniper, but it's like what 375.
It's
Something like that.
370 according to what I got right now. Yeah.
Yeah, 370. So if we're to see that pushed up to 400 or maybe extra damage against purple, I think that would be a viable hit. But uh, where's the real tech at? Tell them what the real tech is.
Okay, so Malosi is the purple tank counter, period. Hands down.
The purple tank. Now, okay, you say the purple tank counter. Which purple tank?
All of them. All of them. He renders Boss Wolf utterly useless. He renders
No, let's start at the rares. Gilray, purple tank, useless.
yes. Okay.
Cyprian,
Useless.
Boomer.
Useless. Well, hit.
J-
Just a hit. Just a hit.
yeah, but he's not going to get the defense.
No, he's not getting the shield. So useless.
Jabbar.
Jabbar didn't add a buff, so he's fine. But maybe he doesn't
He
dispel
does
himself.
he does the dot.
Yeah, but oh yeah, no dot. That's right. Useless. Correction. Useless.
Okay, now the 5 stars. So then we have Aaron.
Aaron. Useless.
Sartana.
Sartana won't dot. Okay.
Hell.
Hell won't dot. Hell won't silence anymore. So really useless.
You mentioned Boss Wolf. Boss Wolf is utterly useless. He's just there as a
Useless.
beefcake to take hits.
He's just gonna take it in the face. He's just gonna, you know.
Yeah. Beefcake.
Yep.
Um,
Aaron.
Cutchin.
Cutchin will heal. That's it. He should only heal. So they actually.
And what about Ursina's Reflect?
No, gone. Won't happen. Just a hit, which is still strong, but not as strong as she was. It doesn't make so. Yeah, you can attack Ursina back after she does that.
So if SG does nothing with the hit, would you be disappointed?
Yes. I am. All right. Here's the thing. You have Grimble. You had Vela. You got John F. You got Telluria. All have about four things other than their chain, and then this guy only has two, and his hits at 370. Now, granted, his second piece is really relevant to the meta we're in with the purple tanks, but he's got to get more, and I think there's a way to fix him. And I know SG watches our show clearly for the 5 or 6 months we've been off. You've copied everything we've said. Shots fired. So this is the way you fix them. All you have to do is reverse Hell and Ursina to Melosi. Yeah, Melosi. All we have to do is add a increased damage to dark heroes, and you could
Yep.
keep him at 370 and we'll be fine.
Yep.
But he does no way of protecting himself. Like he like if nothing else, I would have loved to have a reverse say shat. We talked about that, but he has no way of protecting himself, and he doesn't do enough
Because
hits.
he's like all pile damage, right? Like 780 attack.
Where am I at? 743. Like that's and
Oh,
1303 health. 729 defense. I'm not mad about that, but 1303 health. And he is a barb, and he's resistant to defensive down. So he does protect himself, but his hit's not justified. Like,
yeah. I would rather have that. They gave Ursina that extra hit against yellow. Give Dwayne Johnson the extra hit against purple.
and somebody reach out to Dwayne Johnson and tell him to make him look like a bitch. Like that's right. I said it live. Sorry I'm cussing, but somebody make him. They literally copied Moana Rock and they made him look like a punk. Like somebody
Whoa, whoa,
get
whoa,
Dwayne
whoa, whoa,
Johnson
whoa,
on the phone and holler
whoa,
SG.
whoa. This is clearly not that company, Disney. Can we say that name without being copyright
I
striked?
think we're gonna get shot, but whatever.
Yeah. All right. Edit this, right? We can edit live.
Mm, why not? We retract all shots fired at Disney. There
We love Disney and we love everything that they're doing to torment our childhood,
with Disney
our
Plus.
just our childhood actually, just our
Yeah,
childhood.
yeah.
So,
But no, somebody
um,
somebody really posted Dwayne Johnson's Instagram post and say, listen, this mobile game I play has clearly copied you, but they're making you look bad, bro. We know you in the gym. We see your post, and this is just ain't it. They can't do you like this. And see
yeah,
if we can't get a little stronger hit. I'm
yeah,
definitely he definitely needs to be in the 400, regardless what he does the purples or not. If they don't want to increase his damage, then they could easily just make him strong against darks. Just because he's resistance to defense does not make him protect himself because he hits like a baby. He is a barb, which is interesting. A yellow barbarian. This is that dad's favorite combination of all time because he happens to have no barbs whatsoever.
well, I
So
got I got an Ubicon who's still chilling, waiting for his next tabard.
yes, and Ope is a good situation for you for the barbs.
He's got good tile damage,
Absolutely.
so he's got the highest tile damage for season one purple. So, oh, my tiles will at least pack a punch, and yeah. But
So
he'll get better. I'm banking on this Obicon skin one day. So
yes, I think you'll be pulling for that. So I have
yeah,
I've switched the picture. I think we're done talking about Hero of the Months. We're not impressed with the last one. How are you going to start with a banger and have meta changers all through, and then the last one is just very lackluster? SG, fix your Hero of the Month for yellow. April, please get buffed. I switched the picture to season 3 again. We have talked about this, but recently we've gotten new information on pretty much all these heroes, I think, except the Valkyrie and the barbarian chick who's next to the wolf guy, who is extremely impressive to me. Probably the most impressive, more than Heimdall, in my opinion. Um, we have season 3. I guess this would be section 2 released. Section 2 released
yeah.
in
We'll
beta.
just we'll just we'll just call it part two of season three
Part 2 of season 3 has been released. And if I'm going off
in
what
beta. In beta.
in beta, and when I'm going off what they released, looks like Heimdall and the Squirrel is part 1. Looks like the Wolf is part 2, and I think the Barbarian chick and the Valkyrie in the back will be part 3 because neither one of those pictures have appeared in either part 1 nor part 2. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you're right. I think
Yeah.
you're right.
So we're imagining that this chick that they're showing here next to the wolf and the Valkyrie will probably be released in part 3, and then they'll probably release a part 4 with somebody who's not even on this. It'll only be one hero and another 3 and 4 star. I think they'll up it this time. It won't just be Muggy. It'll be somebody a little better. Um,
Yeah.
let me start off. This wolf guy is sick. I'm sorry. He might
Yeah.
be he
That
might be broken already. Like
that's the one who has 780 base damage I was talking about. It's him.
he's pretty much Kageboro and Ursina on crack. Like, and I don't mean like he has a reflective shield, but I'm talking about his hit is stupid.
All right. All right. Kage and Ursina are openers. This
Uh,
dude is a closer.
I think he's beyond a closer. And I ain't gonna fret. If you hit an opener with him, he's not bad. 300 hit is not bad if he's going to come right
Yeah,
back up.
especially with that high tile damage, and he's a fighter.
Right, so he's going to come back alive and hit you with that. Listen,
So let me name off his card.
let's go.
Okay, Fenrir, the Wolf, 5-star fighter, deals 300 damage to the target. Deals 600 damage if the target has less than 50% health remaining. The caster gains a moderate amount of mana for each enemy killed and a small amount of mana for each enemy minion killed. And he heals himself for 50% of damage dealt. This guy is a wing. If you're going to run him on defense, if you don't have a fast sniper yet on your defense or someone that is a legitimate wing, um, Fenrir, if you pull him, would be your guy.
Yeah, Fenrir is definitely worth the. That's the investment right there. I
Because
honestly,
that's all blue needs is another OP sniper.
well, they got to give it to him. The only thing I would say right now about Fenrir, based off reading Heimdall's card, is it looks like his counter is already non-countered. Heimdall would be his counter because he's green, and blues don't hit good against green. But Heimdall's even health increase, if it's less than 50%, it looks like all that health that he like adds to the shield or whatever not, it still looks like he would just smoke right through it. I'm not even going to front, even though it's the opposite color. He just looks like he would already eat him. Um, heck, we could talk about the rest of them because I just think this guy is. I see nerfs coming in the future. I see it going to like 250, 500 easily. I can't see them keeping this at 300 and 600. I just can't see it keeping like that. And he's fast. I just don't see him being fast that strong forever. But they left Kage alone and they left Ursina alone so far, so who knows? Um,
Yeah.
we have the Witches 3. I guess that's what I'll call them.
Yeah, the Norns.
Yeah. Yeah, the Norns.
Sorcerers.
Right. Smart.
Average mana.
Okay.
Balanced stats with higher attack 770, 718, 1369. Deals 265 damage to the target and nearby enemies.
Right.
The target and nearby enemies become weak against the element they are strong against for 4 turns. They stay weak against the element they are normally weak against. Where do we know that from?
I wouldn't say a hero card that this guy that I know that streams that had a show that went off for a little bit and then came back and all his meta was taken. I don't know about that, but that's just shots fired again at SG, I guess,
We go back and look at the strongholds where I made up a bunch of cards and a bunch of new tech that I'd like to see in the game.
Right.
And
a lot of new tech
that second part of the tech, along with Heimdall's, is taken right out of the stronghold, guys. We've been keeping this to ourselves, but like it's so obvious now. We need to come up with more cards so that SG can do season 4.
Yeah, and I've got a couple already in my mind that I think will pretty interesting.
Yeah. I got some more. I got some more. So you know what? It's cool though. Like, I mean, the target and nearby enemies become weak against the element they are strong against, and they stay weak against the element that they're normally weak against.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And it's funny because this used to be a theory and news show, but it sounds like it became a theory and fact show. So it's just very interesting how that works.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess we could keep going over the heroes. I don't know if you want to keep doing that. We're running about an hour. We usually like to keep it about an hour. So
I don't know. I can go all night long. It's been so long since I've heard your sweet voice live.
Aw, you know how to show me a good time.
That's not true. I watch your live streams every now and then. It's me. It's me who you miss, probably.
I always do miss you live. That's true.
Yeah, I miss you too, man. But I mean, we have another very slow purple coming out. She's interesting.
She adds a cube to everybody or random people.
So she's very slow. 659 attack, 830 defense, 1421 health, and she's a wizard. Cast 5 dark cubes to random enemies. These dark cubes can potentially stack onto one enemy. These dark cubes deals 285 damage to the target. The Dark Cubes reduces max health from the target by 335. Max health can't get lower than 30% of the original max health. The target automatically casts mindless attack on a random ally when mana is full during 3 turns. So this is my bone with her. Why do you have a negative effect on a freaking very slow hero, SG? What the crap are you doing? Just for that negative effect alone, not even with the fact that she's very slow. No one is going to level this hero.
I'm looking at her stats, and she becomes like the sixth purple tank. 830 defense, a 1421 base for health. Man, that's nuts. But yeah, I'm with you.
And
I'm with you.
yeah,
Like I
yeah,
don't see you adding a negative effect on a very slow hero. We're already taking as much time as we can out of the day to try to get her to go, and then she finally goes off, and then she dies or something, like blows you up like that. No, that's not as cool.
yeah,
I'm not with the
yeah.
cool.
But they did give us a good purple.
They did give us a good purple.
She's a druid.
Freya, I guess that's her name.
Freya. Freya.
Yeah, Freya,
I've heard it
Freya.
pronounced both ways.
Yep.
She's fast. 766 attack, 743 defense, 1339 health.
Nice little wing, and she's a druid, so yeah, I'm with it.
A fast. So this is interesting. She recovers 100% health for all allies minions.
Okay.
Summons a Raven minion for each ally with 10% HP and 15% attack. The Raven minion gives up 89%, up 89% attack to all its owners' other minions.
Nice.
And all allies get up 30% defense for 4 turns.
So this is almost like a pairing with the Mother North, a Delia, Puss in Boots. Like Puss in Boots is probably her best pairing, actually. Now that you just said that, not that I think that she can't add on to Puss in Boots because he'll just start with 3. But as he,
But Puss in Boots minions have crazy attack, right?
yeah, it's like something like 20-25%, something nuts.
Yeah,
It's
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 the
crazy.
highest for a minion.
Yeah,
All
it's
right,
crazy.
so Puss in Boots is going to automatically set off her minion when he goes off.
Right.
And her minion is going to give Puss in Boots, all 3 of his minions, an extra 89% attack.
Yeah, and so all he has to do is just fire off. It's almost like a regular hit from a minion then.
Yeah, so the fact that it's a minion that does this and not the special skill, if you pair her with Puss and a couple other minion heroes,
Yeah.
um, they're all going to have good attack.
You
So
you see this
it's
meta.
really specific.
Yeah.
She makes no sense for my account right now.
No. No.
No sense at all. I have like very little 5-star minion meta.
Right.
But for a lot of players, especially a lot of whales, she's interesting.
Yeah, she is. And I
But
think
if you're a new player and you get her and you don't have any minions, she's gonna sit on your roster for a long time.
that type of tech and Telluride coming out makes you think why Grimble's sitting at 70 for me, and it's a reason. He's where
Yeah.
he's where he needs to be. And I knew that I knew they had at the time when Santa, I think when all Christmas heroes came out, they had Delilah and Red Hood, and that was the minion meta, right? That was the first
Yeah.
minion meta, Delilah and Red Hood. Then they added another 4, so then it became 6. Then they
And
added who?
Thoth came out early too.
Oh yeah, Thoth. So Thoth was the third one. So then it became 7. All right. Now you got Seishat. Now you got it's too many to keep up with. But like minion meta is a meta. It's similar to dot meta. It's one of those things that when they have it, flowing, it flows perfectly. When they don't have it flowing, it's you're either prepared for it or you're not. This is one of those heroes that you're probably going to be prepared for if someone's already got this going. This could be the 4th piece or the 3rd piece that a person needs right here, and you could run two other minions like I don't know. I think Puss in Boots, her, and maybe even Mother North, and then just put whoever else you need, a blue, another yellow, Delilah, whatever, and you're right there. The only color that doesn't have a minion meta right now is blue, and I'm sure that's coming. Let's talk about Seth or Sith, 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 Scythe.
Let me get it. Sif, Sif, Sif.
Yeah, all of the above. All the above.
Yeah. You want to name off the card?
Yeah. So she's a 5-star yellow. And guys, if you guys want to check out these cards, they're all on my Discord channel. The Discord channel is there. If not, some of the people that are already in there can invite you to the Discord channel. It's under the Dark Files. You'll find a lot of stuff there. Um,
Oh, I don't even know why. I don't even know why you said that.
oops. Whatever.
Hang on. Let me go and delete some stuff in the dark files.
That's actually not. That's actually not. So that's too funny. Too funny. No, so 788 attack, 716 defense, and 1306 health. It's called Weaver, I think it is. Gold Weaver. The caster and nearby allies get 100% of countered basically repost uh, received for 4 turns. The caster and nearby allies reduce all received damage by 50% for 4 turns. The caster and nearby allies get a 24% mana generation for 4 turns. No hit, true buffer hero. Like she's a true buffer. Um, I see her being more on offense. I do not see people using her on that much on defense. Interesting character. I don't know what they were thinking with yellow. I don't see this countering any of what's coming out whatsoever. Even the purple slow person or the other purple with the raven. I don't see this being that big of a counter to that. It's just not what I was looking for in a yellow 5-star coming out with this stuff personally. But
And the repost isn't even that good. It's only 100%.
no, no, it's not. No, it's not. Nope, it's not that. It's not that great. Uh, that's I ain't gonna front, man. That's all the 5 stars. I'm not gonna go over the 4 stars. Closing thoughts.
I okay, so I am pulling on skins, but I stand by what I said, and I'm really not stressing season 3. I'm playing skins this year. I'm not gonna play season 3 banner for pulls. I'll play the chamber all year long. Um, I'll hold on my stuff for season 3 until it's fully released, and yeah, I'm gonna stand by that.
Um, guys, get your base up. That's where I'm at. For free to play, cheap to play, going to cheap to play, going to free to play counts. Get your base up. I think it's a lot of opportunity coming up with this Alchemy Lab here pretty soon to increase what you've already got to make your account have the maximum potential it could. Um, Another thing too is get prepared for season 3 as far as like the hard modes and stuff like that. Um, Focus on your core 10 class heroes. Um, Stop spreading out your emblems. Keep your core 10 in the teens, going towards that 20. Pick your 20. Pick your classes that go to 20 correctly. And what I mean by that is if you have a Kage and you love Kage and you're killing it with Kage, make Kage 20 before you start on your Obacon, your Gravemaker, or whatever it is. If you have your Kutchin's at 19 going to 20, make Kutchin 20, then work on your next one. Um, because that's how you're going to combat some of these crazy metas in Texas are coming. The buff that you're going to have from emblems and getting your troops and having your team synergy correct is way more important than new pools because pools take time, take ham, take energy, take mats, and new tech versus what you got working for you is way more important. That's all I got. Killer Nation and Killer City are recruiting. Send me your information on Discord. Send it to Bella. Send it to Lone Wolf online. You can find us in the nation on alliances. But other than that, yeah, we're recruiting, looking for 14-star ready accounts. Still in the top 100 as of right now. We were number 69 again. Killer Nation's a nasty alliance. What can I say? But that's all I got, man. Appreciate you coming through. I kind of just threw you this bone last minute, didn't I? Oh, did he leave? Maybe he's gone. You there? Let me see. Nope, he's still here. I don't think he can hear me. Well, yep, he left. All right, well, I'm signing out. I'm out. Killa out. Peace. Oh, you're back?
Yeah. I
All
don't know
right.
what happened.
All right, cool. Well, I was
But
just go ahead.
yeah, go ahead.
I was just closing it out. I was gonna get out of here.
Yeah, man, I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. No problem. Till next
Later,
time.
guys.
Later.